Welcome. Today's video is a focus on student mindsets, which is an important foundation for critical thinking. For this module, you're going to need the following: a student class list, a pen and highlighter, resources 1 through 3, or resource for the comprehensive placemat. It has been said that a growth mindset is at the heart of critical thinking. So today we're going to find out what growth and fixed mindsets are all about. The basic belief held by anyone with a fixed mindset is that intelligence is a permanent trait. The main goal for these students with fixed mindsets is just to appear competent. They really don't see the benefit of effort. They think it's fruitless. They really think it's worthless. They believe that success should require really little effort. So when a student has a fixed mindset, they really desire that kind of praise. They're really motivated by any kind of judgments that say that their performance is superior than others. So on the other hand, these students who have a growth mindset, they believe that intelligence is developed and that people can learn anything that they want. So their goal and their focus is to develop their new skills, to get better, and to master learning. So students who have a growth mindset, they like to get feedback, they seek feedback, and they ask for help with their work. So without a doubt, you're thinking about your own classroom and your own students. You're making connection to those students who have fixed mindsets and who have characteristics of growth mindsets. So let's go ahead and just take a moment to pause the video and look at your own class list and identify those students who have a fixed mindset and those who have a growth mindset. So depending on the grade you teach, looking at your own class data, you may see a trend similar to this data that we see here. We know that all students enter school with a growth mindset, but as they progress from one grade to the next, they gradually shift from a growth mindset towards a fixed mindset. And then we see by 6th grade, the scales have tipped and more than half of the students at this grade have developed fixed mindsets. So I'm sure you're wondering, why is this trend occurring? Why is this happening? What is causing students to just slowly move from a growth mindset towards a fixed mindset? Well, it really turns out that the students' mindsets are happening in response to things that are happening in the classroom. So some examples of things that are happening in the classroom that are causing students to move to a fixed mindset include the way we praise, question, student engagement, and assessment. So the way that teachers provide praise in the classroom can contribute to a fixed mindset. So when teachers praise children's abilities and say things to them like, you're so smart, you're so talented, rather than talking about and praising them for the work that they've put in, it really tells the child that what you are valuing and what you're admiring is their intelligence. So the way that a teacher conducts questioning in the classroom is one of the things that contributes to a fixed mindset. So for example, we're all familiar with that traditional teacher kind of Q&A, in which the teacher asks a question and then the kids raise their hand and then the teacher continues to choose students until there's a right answer that's provided. This kind of questioning is going to reinforce a fixed kind of mindset. So the way that students are engaged in learning in the classroom can contribute to a fixed mindset. So when teachers give students independent work and they're asked to work on a worksheet, keep their eyes on their own paper, and then turn that paper in at the end of the lesson, contributes to a fixed mindset. When they experience learning this way, it's just really common for kids to start shifting and thinking their job in school is just to get tasks done. So the ways that children are assessed in the classroom can really contribute to a fixed mindset. So problems arise when students equate their grades with their intelligence. We just talked about 4 classroom practices that contribute to a fixed mindset. So let's take some time to pause and reflect on your own classroom practices. Using Resource 2, highlight practices that are more consistent with your own classroom. We know that for critical thinking to happen, that students must have a growth mindset. So how are we going to capture and sustain the mindset that they had when they started school? So we began the video by stating that a growth mindset is really at the heart of critical thinking. So let's take some time to think about that connection. Teachers are the most influential factor in student learning. A teacher is so powerful. You are so influential over your students. In fact, everything that you say or do impacts how a child feels about him or herself as a learner. Now that you know that the More About practices support a growth mindset in the classroom and set a foundation for critical thinking, which of those practices will you continue using? And also, which practices will you start using in the classroom? And on the other hand, now that we know that the Less About practices do not support a critical thinking or a growth mindset classroom, which of those practices will you consider stopping? Go ahead and use this information to complete your action plan. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.